Native American cultures are different across tribes, but can be grouped geographically because many tribes share characteristics within a region. Anthropologists have divided and grouped Native American tribes into many geographically, linguistically, and culturally based regions. Native Americans have lived in the Americas for thousands of years, long before European settlers arrived. Their interactions with Europeans, beginning in the 15th century, tell a story of oppression, disease, and massive loss of population. Indigenous groups of North and Central America are grouped into 12 geography-based regions: the Arctic, Subarctic, Northwest, Plateau, California, Great Basin, Plains, Southwest, Northeast, Southeast, Mesoamerica, and the Caribbean.
The Tainos lived in the Greater Antilles of Cuba, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Puerto Rico. They created a universal language. Many Taino words still exist in the Puerto Rico vocabulary today, including the names of plants, fruits, fish, trees, and animals.
Other words Taino spoke were passed down not only in Spanish but also to English. The largest village was Guanica. It was on the Guainia River.
Historians, anthropologists, and sociologists have all found evidence that the various accomplishments of the Taino culture impressed the Spanish who encountered them and eventually oppressed them. Many parts of the Taino culture were passed from generation to generation through ceremonial dances, drum beats, and the oral tradition, which is storytelling. The Taino people also played a ball game between two teams of 10 to 30 people. Winning the game was thought to bring them good harvest and strong, healthy children. The religion of the Taino people was really important to their culture.
Taino believed in many gods that lived in the sky. They believed each god did something different. Yokahu was the supreme creator. Zemis protected them from natural disasters, sicknesses, and war. The Maiboyas destroyed crops so the Taino people were scared of them. To keep all the gods happy, the Taino people would give special offerings to the gods.
The Taino Indians lived in theocratic kingdoms and had chiefs called caciques. They had many gods, Zemis and Maiboyas. Zemis protected them. The chief lived in a special hut called caneas. Unlike the others, chiefs lived in the center of the village and faced the farm.
Noblemen and workers lived in round huts called bohíos. The huts were made of wooden frames with straw tops. The ground was the floor. The buildings were strong and survived hurricanes.
The Taino people were good at hunting, fishing, and farming. They grew crops for themselves and to give to the gods. Some of their main crops included cassava, garlic, potatoes, and corn. The Tainos used clay and natural resources to make their dishes for their food and water.
The Taino tribe are an accomplished group of people. They made cups of gourds and used them to dig out canoes. They used the canoes for fishing, traveling, and water games.
They were good at farming and hunting for meat. They also had ballparks for events that had stone posts as goals, and winning brought good grace from the gods.
The Taino people had an enemy called the Caribs, which is a South American tribe.
The Caribs invaded them, but the Taino were often afraid to fight back. The Tainos were forced to join with the Caribs to fight a bigger threat, the Europeans.
Out of all the tribes in the Caribbean Sea, the Caribs fought the Europeans the best and hardest. The Europeans felt the Caribs' behavior was unfair when really they were defending themselves. The Taino tribe had impressive techniques for building houses, tools, and canoes. The Europeans copied them. Even though the Europeans were impressed by the Tainos, they did not treat them well. Between Europeans' arrival in 1508 and the year 1544, almost all Taino lives were lost from battle, slavery, and disease.